If that's your thought, my source tells me that Shedeur had too much respect for Lamar Jackson, had too much respect for Jalen Hurts, and he would be in a situation where he would have needed that individual in Lamar and Jalen to get hurt in order for him to have an opportunity to play.
Breaking news does not just shake the NFL, it detonates like a bomb. And when that blast comes from Cam Newton, you know it is not smoke, it is fire. In a stunning revelation, Newton exposed the truth behind Shedeur Sanders' draft decision, a truth the mainstream sports media did not know or did not want you to hear. For months, Adam Schefter and other voices told you that Shedeur snubbed the Baltimore Ravens. Cam says that is only a sliver of the story. Shedeur also passed on the Philadelphia Eagles. He did it not out of arrogance, but out of respect for Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. Brothers, leaders, idols. This is not just a sports story. This is about loyalty and respect, and the fight to define your own destiny in a league that tries to script you before you ever take a snap. Before we go deeper, hit like and subscribe. Drop your take in the comments. If you love Shedeur, then comment SS 100%. Rewind to draft weekend. The Baltimore Ravens held pick 141. Whispers exploded across the league. Shedeur said no to Baltimore. Adam Schefter ran with it. Alex Smith criticized it. Emmanuel Ocho compared it to the Tom Brady story. Fans roasted Shedeur on social media. People said, "Who does he think he is? He should be grateful for any shot. Declining the Ravens is career suicide." But Cam Newton dropped a different truth. The media told only half the story. They painted Shedeur as an arrogant rookie who thought he was too good for a winning franchise. They left out the conversations with Philadelphia. They left out the respect he showed Lamar and Jalen. They left out the calculated choice to choose Cleveland. Cam called it out straight. If you only report some of the truth and not all of the truth, you leave fans blind. You keep them from seeing the full picture, and the full picture changes everything. Call this section Respect Over Opportunity. Imagine being Shedeur Sanders. You grow up watching Lamar Jackson, a two-time MVP who redefined the modern dual-threat quarterback. You study Jalen Hurts, a steady leader who carried the Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl, the ultimate professional and teammate. Now imagine getting drafted behind those men. What is your path? You carry a clipboard? You run scout team? You see the field only if a star goes down?
They have a saying that says, all money ain't good money. And every opportunity is not really a great opportunity for where you are or what your vision is. So if you are dealing with an individual that has the utmost respect for Lamar Jackson, has the utmost respect for Jalen Hurts, that's not to say he doesn't have respect for a Joe Flacco or a Dylan Gabriel. The thought is, if I go into Cleveland, I would have more of a chance to play and compete for a position rather than hoping that an individual gets hurt.
Shedeur did not want his dream tied to another man's injury. Out of respect, he did not want to be the vulture waiting for disaster. He wanted to compete. He wanted to play. He wanted to prove himself on his feet, not on someone else's misfortune. So when Baltimore called, when Philadelphia called, Shedeur said no. Not out of disrespect, out of respect. Respect for greatness. Respect for brotherhood. Respect for the game. Now the Browns gamble. Why choose Cleveland, a franchise famous for instability and dysfunction and quarterback chaos? Alex Smith blasted the choice. He called it short-sighted. He said Baltimore would be the safer landing spot, a place to learn and develop in a stable system. but Cam Newton explained why Cleveland made real sense. Look at the depth chart. Joe Flacco is a 40-year-old veteran at the twilight of his career. Dillon Gabriel is a rookie with no guarantees. That is not a roadblock. That is an open lane. For Shedeur, Cleveland was not about clout. It was about opportunity. The Browns are a place where he can actually play, and that is the dream of every young quarterback. Cam hammered it home. I want to go to a team where I can do what? Play. For the people in the back, play. Here is where it gets even more dramatic. When the story first broke, Cam Newton was critical too. He went on the big shows. He argued that Baltimore was the better spot. He scolded Shedeur for a move that looked reckless. Then he did his homework. He worked his sources. He dug deeper. What he found changed his perspective. He admitted he was wrong. He retracted his take. Then he told the full truth. By exposing the hidden offers from Philadelphia and Baltimore, Cam cleared Shedeur's name and flipped the narrative. What once looked like arrogance now looked like respect. What once felt reckless now felt strategic. And he did not stop there. He held the media accountable. He called out Adam Schefter. He called out Alex Smith. He called out Emmanuel Acho and anyone else who pushed an incomplete story. Cam said it best. All money ain't good money, and all news ain't the whole truth. So why did the media latch on to only the Baltimore angle? Because controversy sells. Because a rookie saying no to a proud franchise like the Ravens is ratings gold. Because making Shedeur look arrogant fuels debate shows and drives clicks. But Cam ripped the mask off. He showed that Shedeur's decision was not about disrespect. It was about carving his own path. He reminded fans that the media does not always give the full truth. When Adam Schefter reported that Sanders declined the Ravens, he left out the Eagles. He left out the respect. He left out the bigger picture. He left fans with a lie wrapped in half-truth. Then came the Tom Brady myth. Emmanuel Acho invoked the legend. He said Brady didn't care where he was drafted. He sat behind Drew Bledsoe. It turned out fine. Cam shut that down with 1 point. Brady got his shot because Bledsoe got hurt. If Bledsoe stays healthy, maybe Brady never becomes Brady. That is not a blueprint. That is luck. And Shedeur Sanders will not build his career on luck or injuries. He will not wait and hope for another man's setback. He wants to walk through the door himself. That is not arrogance. That is ambition. That is belief. That is knowing your worth. Now step back. This is bigger than one player. This is about how young athletes get treated when they make bold choices. The double standard is alive in the NFL. When a team makes a move, it's strategy. When a player makes a move, it's arrogance. When a franchise protects its interests, it's business. When a rookie protects his future, it's selfish. Shedeur just broke that double standard. By rejecting the Ravens and the Eagles and by choosing Cleveland, he made a statement. I control my career. I choose my destiny. I respect greatness, but I will not sit in the shadows forever. Cam saw that truth. He lived that truth. He knows what it feels like to be judged by headlines and hot takes instead of facts. That's why he defended Shedeur once the full story came into the light. So, was it the right move? That is the question now. Cleveland is far from perfect. The franchise has chewed up and spit out quarterbacks for decades, more than 30 starters in the last 20 years. The instability is legendary. But there's a flip side. Instability creates opportunity. Where others failed, Shedeur can succeed. Where others cracked under pressure, he can rise. Cleveland offers snaps. Cleveland offers tape. Cleveland offers a real chance to grow in the fire. If he wins in Cleveland, his legacy becomes monumental. He will not just be another quarterback. He will be the quarterback who helped turn the Browns into real contenders. That is the kind of story no draft slot can touch. That is the kind of story no media spin can erase. That is a legacy that belongs to him and to the city that believed. This saga leaves us with 3 lessons. Respect matters. Shedeur's choice was not about fear. It was about honoring Lamar and Jalen. Narrative is not truth. The media gave you half the story. Cam Newton brought the rest. Control your destiny. In a league that loves to script careers, Shedeur flipped the script and wrote his own. So let's put it all together. Shedeur Sanders did not reject the Ravens out of arrogance. He did not reject the Eagles out of fear. He chose Cleveland out of respect and ambition. He looked at Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts and said this, "I will not take the field by waiting for you to fall. I will find my own path." That is not selfishness. That is character. That is integrity. That is respect. Adam Schefter and Alex Smith and Emmanuel Acho tried to cut this down to a soundbite, but Cam Newton brought the receipts. He reminded us that behind every headline, there is a human being. Behind every rumor, there is a truth. In this truth, Shedeur Sanders is not a villain. He is a visionary. So the next time you hear the spin, remember this moment. Remember who told you the half-truth. Remember who dropped the bombshell that changed the whole story. Because the real story is not what the media tells you. The real story is what they leave out.
Thanks for staying informed with us. If you found this update helpful, give it a thumbs up, drop your thoughts in the comments, share the video with others who should know, and hit that subscribe button with the bell so you're always first to hear the latest breaking stories.